Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to race 23 of 24. You heard right, it's the final race before the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway for the NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series. We're here at Phoenix International Raceway, and the green flag is in the air. Cliff Price from Timac Motorsports on the pole, alongside Ken Wirebow in the 4 car. Final race here in the round of 8. Several drivers need a win to get into the final 4. Several drivers just need to ride and get a good finish. They'll advance based on points. Old contact there deep in the field between Eddie Fikes in the 7 car, Brian Wiggins in the 48, Michael Shoemaker in the 56. They're going to sort it out. Looks like RJ Haywood's getting into the wall a little bit there coming out of turn 2. Up front, it's Ken Wirebow in the 4 car with the lead. Whoa! And it looks like there was some contact made there. 84 car, Tyler McMurdo getting real loose. Remember, he comes into this race needing just a top 7 finish in order to clinch a spot in the championship 4, regardless of where the other round of 8 contenders finish. Ken Wirebow in the 4 car comes into this race needing a top 4 finish. Meanwhile, he's got the race lead. Jordan Green underneath a car there, and that's a battle for the 6th position. And we got Michael Shoemaker in another car getting involved in a bit of a skirmish back there. Let's see if we can see what happened. That's coming out of turn 4. Michael's the black number 56 car, and around he goes. He's going to make contact with the inside wall, and there was one other car involved. Oh. Contact there between Brian Wiggins in the 48. And I didn't get a look at who the other driver there was, but it might have been Caitlin Lohr in the number 4 car. The round of 8 playoff drivers are Jordan Green in the 6 car, Brian Wiggins in the 48, Ken Wirebow in the 4, Tyler McMurdo in the 84, Daniel Harmon in the 62, Caleb Lopez in the 95, Michael Shoemaker in the 56, and John Alexopoulos in the number 2. Michael Shoemaker in the 56 needs a win to advance. John Alexopoulos in the 2 needs a win to advance. And we come into this race with Jordan Green in the 6 car, Brian Wiggins in the 48, locked in to the championship 4 after getting wins earlier in this round. Brian Wiggins winning at Texas, and Jordan Green winning at Martinsville. So coming into this event, unless something majorly catastrophic happens to the number 4 car or the number 84 car, we pretty well have the final 4 decided unless those 2 have issues. But then again, we've seen drivers like Daniel Harmon and Caleb Lopez win here at Phoenix before, and they could be a real dark horse for the championship this season. Cliff Price, after winning the pole, has dropped now to the 4th position in the number 17 car. That's Caleb Lopez running in 2nd place in the 95, but he's having a tough time holding back Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson to the inside there, looking for 2nd on Caleb. The 2 highest running non-playoff drivers in the race right now are Randy Johnson in 2nd and Cliff Price in 4th, both having good runs. And I'll tell you, Caleb Lopez and Randy Johnson, they've been side by side for 3 laps in a row, trying to figure out who's going to take the 2nd position and try to run down your race leader, Ken Wirebow. And they finally get it sorted out. It's going to be Randy taking 2nd place for the time being, and now they're beginning to come up on some lap traffic here at Phoenix International Raceway. Looks like it's actually Michael Shoemaker in the 56 car after having that incident earlier in the race and bouncing off the inside wall. So a tough break for one of the round of 8 contenders that really needs a win coming into this event. Jordan Green in the 6 car, just behind Tyler McMurder in the 84. Remember, Jordan Green has a win in this round, and he's locked into the Championship 4 race at Homestead Miami Speedway, so he's probably feeling no pressure just riding around in that 6th position. Having a good race here early in the going. Looks like Caleb Lopez's car fading a little bit here as he's now feeling the pressure from Cliff Price. They got into it just a little bit there, fighting for 3rd and 4th. And now it looks like Tyler McMurder's going to try to pounce. Caleb Lopez holding on to the 3rd position for the time being. He is a former NOSSCAR Pro Touring Series champion. Knows how to really wheel it here in the NOSSCAR eSport community. Oh, looks like Michael Shoemaker in the 56 car stopped on the racetrack over there in turns 1 and 2, completely sideways in the middle groove, and I'm not sure if it's going to bring out a yellow or not. Here in the NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series, a caution is only called for 2-car incidents or more. Waiting to get the official word. And we're going to stay green. We just saw Michael Shoemaker in the 56 there, in the black car there, getting back up under full power with a lot of front end damage though to that machine. He now falls 2 laps down here at Phoenix International Raceway, currently scored in the 12th position. Or excuse me, check that. It's currently scored in the 14th position. And after battling hard for 3rd place with Cliff Price, Caleb Lopez has been able to drive away a little bit. And Randy Johnson has begun trying to run down the race leader. They're both in a bit of heavy traffic here. Eddie Fikes in the 7 car goes 1 lap down. One of the non-playoff contenders driving for Wood Dog Motorsports. Fikes had some sort of issue because, I don't know, now that we have him on camera here, he seems to be running real good with the race leaders. Riding along here with Timac in the 84 car. Tyler McMurder running in the 5th position, just trying to mind his own business. If the cards were to land where they are right now, he would advance based on points. And of course, Ken Wirebow in the 4 car, currently your race leader. If the race were to end now, he would be locked in to the Championship 4 event at Homestead Miami Speedway. Ken, of course, a former NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series champion, looking to make it 2 this season. Looks like Eddie Fikes got a little bit out of shape going into turn 1 that last time by, and it looks like McMurder in the 84 going to make a move on the inside. Again, not for position, but it's key for Tyler to get around the lapped cars to keep the top 4 drivers in sight. They're still dealing with a lot of lapped cars up ahead. Oh, and we just saw an incident in turn 1. Somebody hit the inside wall, came up and made contact with Caleb Lopez, one of the round of 8 contenders, who was having a solid race in 3rd place. And that's going to bring out the caution for sure, and that's a tough break for the driver of the number 95. Caleb wasn't necessarily desperate for a win to advance to the championship 4, but a win is certainly what he needs. Top 3 finish is certainly what he needs, and he was running in the 3rd spot, maintaining around the same lap times as your front 2 runners. And we don't see Randy Johnson up there in 2nd anymore, so something had to have happened to him. So the current front runners is Ken, Cliff, Tyler, Jordan, and Caleb. And then there's Randy in 6th. There's RJ Haywood in 7th. We haven't spoken much about him in this race. He's currently having a good run. And that's Caitlin Lohr in the 14, running in 8th. And that's Daniel Harmon running in 9th. Brian Wiggins currently scored in the 10th position. Eddie Fikes currently scored 11th. Michael Shoemaker in the 56, gaining a spot, 1 spot at a time, up in 12th. 16 drivers started the event, and we're down to 12 cars on the racetrack, and 11 of them on the lead lap. Race off pit road is going to be won by the 6-time NOSSCAR champion Tyler McMurder. Former NOSSCAR champion Ken Wirebow beside him, former NOSSCR race winner RJ Haywood right behind him, and 3-time NOSSCR champion Jordan Green on the outside of row 2 for the restart here. Now we're approaching the halfway mark of the race, final race before we see who the Championship 4 contenders are here for the Season 8 NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series Championship. Hosted on the NASCAR 15 Victory Edition video game on the PlayStation 3 console. For more information, head over to www.noscar.com/Thunder Cup Series. See where your favorite driver is seated in the point standings. Just waiting to get the running order for the restart all situated and ready to go. A couple cars not in the right spot where they're supposed to be. I think we got it sorted now. The green flag is in the air. Contact there. McMurder in the 84 hit the outside wall getting into turn 3, but he's going to be able to recover and hold on to 2nd for the time being. Ken reassumes the race lead. Tyler in 2nd, RJ 3rd, Cliff Price in 4th, and that's Caitlin all the way up inside the top 5 in the number 14 car. She's having a great run. Brian Wiggins in the 48 car, early troubles, but he's rallied to 6th place. Not really running the low groove right now. Can't seem to hold the car on the bottom where he wants to be. Tell you what, a lot of these cars can't seem to hold the car on the bottom where they want to be, including the front runners. These drivers are looking for all the speed that they can get out of these cars. They know that there's only 2 races left before we crown a champion, and they can't leave anything on the table. Your eye on Randy Johnson. He's up into 6th after having whatever issue it was. He was running in 2nd place for quite a while and chasing down Ken Wirebow, trying to spoil the party for the playoff drivers, and he's now rallied back up to P6 for the time being. He's coming. Very impressed with RJ Haywood. He's still running in 3rd. That's him there in the black car with the American flag along the side, on the quarter panel, and on the front hood. Having a solid run at Phoenix International Raceway. Very well known for his road course and short track program here in the B and C division of NOSSCAR. Cliff Price in the 17, your pole sitter, still in 4th, still trying to make a move actually on R.J. Haywood for third. And Randy Johnson, we can tell you, has worked around Caleb Lopez for fifth, and now he is inside the top five and still continuing the charge towards the front. Excuse me, he got around Caitlin Lohr rather in the 14 car. Now it looks like Daniel Harmon in the 62 is working on the inside of Caitlin Lohr. That's a battle for 6th and 7th on the racetrack. Behind them is Brian Wiggins. He was running in 6th moments ago, but he has now slipped to 8th position. But he is still right with these drivers, battling just barely outside the top 5. Up front, it's Ken in the number 4, Tyler in the 84, and R.J. Haywood in the 88, holding station in the top 3. Check that, Cliff Price in the 17 has taken third from R.J. Haywood, put him inside the top 3 in a podium spot. Speed up the footage just to get you closer to the action here again. Once we have drivers a little bit closer together and gather for some more action, we will stop the fast forward motion. Your top 5 is Ken, Tyler, Cliff, RJ, and Randy. Well, we're back here at Phoenix International Raceway, getting down into the final laps here of race 23 of 24 here in the NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series race at Phoenix. The last race before the championship race at Homestead. 8 drivers came into this event with a chance to be a part of the championship 4 contenders. We know that Jordan Green and Brian Wiggins, winning races in this round, were locked into the Homestead race before. And if the race were to end right now, it would be Ken in the 4 and Tyler in the 84 advancing to the Championship 4 event. Ken, of course, being in first, right now being your race leader, would advance via a win. And Tyler in the 84 would advance via points. The 4 drivers not going to be in if the race were to end right now would be Daniel Harmon, Caleb Lopez, Michael Shoemaker, and John Alexopoulos. However, keep in mind, a total of 40 drivers have tallied points this season. So the drivers not making the Final 4 still have plenty to be proud of. Caleb Lopez, 2 wins this season. Daniel Harmon, if he doesn't make the Final 4, he's got to win this season, had a great season. Michael Shoemaker has a win at Talladega this season, nothing to be ashamed of. John Alexopoulos in the 2, the second most top 5 finishes of all drivers this season. Solid seasons for all 8 of these drivers. But it's not over yet. If we see a late race caution, it can really throw a wrench into all these guys' plans. Brian Wiggins in the 48 car, we saw him a moment ago. There he is in the light blue Chevy. going one lap down. However, he won at Texas last week, and that's got him advanced and locked into the championship race. He doesn't need to worry about where he finishes in this event. However, the car in front of McMurder, the 56, Michael Shoemaker, he needs a win coming into this event. Even if he were to finish in second and the others have issues, he would not have the points to lock himself into the championship 4. So he does need a late race caution. We can tell you John Alexopoulos in the 2 car is out of this race, so it looks like he will not be making the championship 4 this season. That opens the door wide open for a new driver to be a contender for the championship, as John Alexopoulos has been a part of many, and indeed has won himself a NASCAR championship in years past. So Ken in the 4 car is your leader. Tyler in the 84 in second. Cliff in the 17 in third. Caleb in the 95 in fourth. Randy in the 78 in fifth. Jordan in the 6 car in sixth. Daniel Harmon in the 62 in seventh. Caitlin in the 14 in eighth. RJ in the 88 in ninth. And Brian Wiggins in the 48 car rounding out the top 10. The other 2 cars left on the track, Eddie Fikes in the 7, Michael Shoemaker in the 56, 11th and 12th. Both cars 1 lap down or more. And the key drivers in that list right now were Caleb Lopez in 4th place, Daniel Harmon in 7th place. Both drivers are in the round of 8 and looking for a yellow to come out so they can possibly gain some points on Tyler in the 84. If yellow were to come out, Caleb restarting in the outside of row 2, he would be close enough to perhaps challenge for the win here at Phoenix. Showed a tremendous amount of speed earlier in this race, Caleb Lopez did. However, he was caught up in an incident when a car hit the inside wall. I believe it was Eddie Fikes. Came back up the racetrack, made hard contact with Caleb, taking him outside of the top 3 where when he was running 3rd. A little bit of a heartbreaker here for Caleb Lopez, but he's recovered to 4th place. And it looks like he's going to get himself a top 5 finish. Not quite the result he was hoping for, but still one not to be ashamed of. And still not a season to be ashamed of if all does not go according to plan in the late laps here with the driver at the 95. Down to a handful of laps to go. Remember, there are no cautions called for the final 5 laps of all NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series races. So once they reach the 5 lap to go mark, it's when we're not going to see any flags for any incidents, and we're definitely well past that now that I'm looking at the clockwork. In fact, we very well might be coming around here to 3 laps to go here at Phoenix. Ken in the 4, Tyler in the 84, Cliff in the 17, Caleb in the 95, Randy in the 78, your top 5. Jordan in the 6, Daniel Harmon in the 62, Caitlin in the 14, RJ in the 88, Brian in the 48, the rest of the top 10. Despite being about 4 or 5 seconds behind your race leader, McMurder is still a little out of shape and trying to gain some ground in any way he can. But he's going to run out of time here as Ken comes around through turn 3 and 4 for the final time to win here at Phoenix International Raceway. 6th win of the season for Ken in that number 4 car here in the NOSSCAR Thunder Cup Series. Your final 4, your championship 4 contenders for this year's season, for this year's championship. Jordan Green in the 6 car, Brian Wiggins in the 48, Ken Wirebow in the 4, Tyler McMurder in the 84. We will see you at Homestead.